learn a lot about you. Yeah, today's goal is to learn more about you. Yesterday, we talked all about ourselves. What we're going to be doing today is hosting a 1 hour open discussion with you, with the cohort, to learn about what your dreams and your aspirations are. To help me understand and learn, I'm asking you 4 questions, and you can DM me these answers directly. You can also link your Twitter profile when you do this for me. This might help me out a little bit more. Um, but what I want to know today is what you want to accomplish with Twitter, what your dreams and your aspirations are, what are your biggest fears, and what obstacles you are facing. I'm going to ask that you turn off your videos because what I have seen is that so many people join these sessions, get so crowded, y'all, that the Discord seems to blow up sometimes. So I appreciate that some of you want to do those videos, but all I'm asking is that you send me the answers to those questions, maybe send me a link to your profile, and I am going to get to every single person during this call. All right, I'm excited here. Oh, so some people already posted in the lesson 2 room. Oh, boy. All right. Well, I guess I'll get to them first. So I'm doing that because I want to make sure people who are watching this recap can get to this very easily. So I'm reading some of Adam's, and this is pretty typical for what I read here. It's like, hey, I'm, you know, I love dogs and that's all great, and I want to leave my 9 to 5. That's cool and all. But mostly what I get from his is kind of like he's got this resistance to failure, which is Savior Sons and I talk a lot about this. He's probably on the beach right now. I don't actually believe that something like imposter syndrome exists. Okay, imposter syndrome is fake. And what I mean by that is none of it makes any sense to me. I've been a musician my entire life. I've been an artist my entire life. You get out there by getting on stage and getting in front of people and doing things. So this phony fear of failure that is there is just absurd. You're stopping yourself from creating, and you're stopping yourself from doing, which is stopping yourself from learning. And you want to be able to do that. So I'm gonna have to mute people, man. I hate doing this. Server mute. Okay. So the Feynman technique is how to learn properly, and I'm sure if you're, I'm sure you are. I'm gonna take a stock photo of this right here. So this is the Feynman technique right here, and and this is how you learn the quickest. You choose a concept to learn, right? You teach it. Look at number 2 right there. You teach it to yourself or someone else. And you're going to notice that the Feynman technique is what we're going to use in this cohort. Yes, you are going to be teaching others. You return to the resource materials if you get stuck, which is CPP, and you simplify your explanations over time, right? If you can explain it to a 5-year-old, you have gained mastery of a particular subject. So when you're thinking I'm afraid of failure, you're setting up yourself. There's no other way for me in a loser frame, okay, in a loser mindset. And the reason why is because you're feeling like you're not going to be able to teach any. You're going to miss step 2 of the Feynman technique, and you need to just get over it. Who cares if you don't have 100% mastery when you're not teaching it? I taught public school for 20 years. I can tell you none of your public school teachers and all of your teachers, every single teacher that you've ever had, none of them had 100% gain mastery. Okay, I'm going to take a look at some other people. I'm hoping I get some really concrete answers to this. This is why I think it's better to send it to me during this call, because the more concrete, I don't want to hear oh, I'm looking to get, this, or I want to hear what you're really looking for, concrete. The more concrete you can put in your words, the better you are going to be as a writer. Okay. So let's take a look at Red's account. Okay. I'm going to address her first one. So hers is, what do you want to accomplish? I want a clearer grasp on my writing style, and I want to publish more consistently on Twitter. It's the only thing I'm going to talk about right now for you, Red. Now, I think it's really important. People come to me and they go, oh, I want to find my voice. I need to find, she's up on stage. I need to find my voice. I need to do this. That is awesome. Red, you must be writing 3 or 4 hours per day, 3 to 5 hours per day. I am so excited for you because you're telling me your number one priority in life is that you need to find more of your writing voice. You need a clearer grasp on your writing style. I'm assuming just because you're telling me that's the number one thing you need to work on, that you're writing 3, 4 hours a day, maybe even 5 hours a day, because you write are you writing as much as I'm talking about? And I want to address this because some people will come to me and they'll go, "Oh, I need to find my writing voice." Well, how much are you writing per day? How prolific is your writing? How much exercise are you getting that muscle? Now, I want to talk about this because this is a real thing. This is called the creativity faucet. You're learning all of these cool little concepts today. The creativity faucet is I'm literally Googling it up right now. Googling it up right now. The creativity faucet. Here is a really interesting, boom. Yeah. So here's like a shot of like I'm just going to take a screenshot of a Julian. Is it Julian Shapiro? Yeah. You probably, this is a screenshot of, I had this saved here. I learned this as an artist myself. As the more I was in a state of constant flow, the easier it would be to just get right back into it. And the same goes for writing. This is the same as writing. I learned this as I was a musician. You actually need to be constantly creating. This is why my handle is Create 24/7, so that you are constantly in this state of content creation. Yeah. So what you guys need to be doing is, if you're really serious about becoming a writer, you need to be you need to be writing constantly. So one of the reasons why I was publishing, you maybe even saw me in the past couple of weeks writing 2 or 3 emails every single day, is because I was trying to tap into that creativity faucet. I would wake up, I would write, and I found this really interesting. The hardest thing to write was the first email. Right. And then I would write the first email, I would hit publish on it. I'd give myself 20, 30 minutes. Right. That's another thing you all need to do is you need to get in the habit of writing quickly. Make sure you're on mute, please. Make sure you're on mute, please, because I'm just going to go right and mute you if you come in with a mic on. So the thing with the creativity faucet is I would write one email, and then my mind would get, my mind would be in 3rd or 4th gear, maybe not 5th quite yet. But as I got to the second email, we'd get into 5th. We'd start to write that faster. And I'd be like, I got another email idea. When you're hot, right? And you got to lean into it, and you got to hit publish again and again and again and again. So if you want a clearer grasp on your writing style, you need to write more. And one of my biggest tips that I can give you is to give yourself impose deadlines. I'm going to write this thread. I once had a client who I had, and this is a while ago, and I would say, hey, I need you to write a thread, right? You need to write threads. This is the best way to grow your Twitter account. And I would get back to him, and he would come to me, and he would say, yeah, I would ask him, I'd look at the thread, and I would go, well, how long did it take you to write this thread? And he would go 8 or 9 hours. And I would go, this is just way too much. I thought I labored with my writing. Like, it might take me like 3 hours to write a thread because I'm so heavily into the editing phase. But if you're going to start giving yourself more deadlines, and then you're going to hit publish more, you're going to be more prolific of a writer. All right. Let's see what else we've got here. I guess people are now sending to me directly. That's great. I'm going to go to these posts that I got all in the order that I have received them. Thank you so much. My plan is to get to every single person who chats today. All of my notes will be in the Lesson 10 room. If you want to add a comment, you can either add it in this chat. Hopefully I see it. Or, in the Lesson 2 room. Sorry about that. All right, James. Want to know what you want to accomplish. You want to attain complete financial freedom within the next 5 years. Right now, my income is limited by how many patients I can see in my clinic. So I think the next step for me is how to remove that bottleneck by learning about building an online audience and other evergreen content. That's interesting. I don't know exactly what you do. You say you have a clinic, but I find this interesting because I had a client that had a clinic. I believe he was a chiropractor. He was in CPP for a while. and he built a huge online audience. I want to say he's like in the 20, 30,000 follower range at this point. Been on podcasts. He just basically took the knowledge that he was using in his clinic and turned it into an offer that he could sell online. It was extremely valuable. Acupuncturist and medical practitioner. So maybe you can put something in the fitness realm together to improve people's health. That kind of offer down the road. My personal goal is financial freedom ASAP. I'm somebody who is financially independent. I would say this. I think it's important to have a sense of urgency, and this is nothing that has to do with CPP. This is kind of like a wealth building idea type of thing. I always make long-term decisions. That's one of the biggest tips that I can give you. So if your goal is financial freedom, and I see this often in here, make sure you're building yourself on solid ground as much as possible. My business could get taken down tomorrow and I'd still be financially independent. That's the life that I put together for myself, which allows me to be a better writer, in my opinion, because I don't have to bootlick anybody because I don't need anybody else's money. What are your biggest fears? General economic collapse, nuclear war. Y'all, these aren't fears that I was thinking that you I was thinking you might have a slow time. These are things that are out of your control. I only focus on things that I can control. And that's where I would put my biggest amounts of energy on and towards. All right, I'm going to take a look at, by the way, if you send me your Twitter profile, send me a link directly. I try to get to as many people as possible. And, if you just send me your name, I can't really go there. Okay. What are your dreams and aspirations? My goal is 4 times my liquid net worth in 5 years. That sounds pretty easy. But again, I don't know where you're coming from. I want to add aspect of being a digital content creator to my identity as an entrepreneur. I'm a bit of an introvert, so I get this one often. I'm not y'all. I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again. The introverts are, you're going to have to get over it. Your ultimate goal with your Twitter page is to turn your page into a forum. Your ultimate goal with your Twitter page is to turn it into a forum. All right. That's how I approach Twitter. If you look at my page, there's so much action going on. There's accounts in the $1, $2, $5 million range that are quote tweeting me, retweeting me, commenting on my posts. It is a place to be. You want them to be there and be in the public square. So you're kind of like a forum host ultimately with your page. Red, you got any tips for you want to take the mic? You got any tips for someone who is an introvert? You can either post them up in there. I'm not an introvert. Mike and Red say they're both introverts. You got any tips for the introverted people? You can unmute your mics and join us and get in on the call if you'd like.
Yeah, I would just say that I think that having an idea of the kind of content that you want to create, and I know the idea of like people say putting yourself out there,
Yeah.
and that's like the opposite of what an introvert wants to do. But if you have, like AP was saying, treating it like a forum and having these conversations with people, the content can create itself. So it's not like the spotlight is always on you. The spotlight should be on your content. So being an introvert becomes irrelevant, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the focus is on the audience that you're building with, right? I think that's really ultra clever. You're just reframing it the way in your mind. I think that's fantastic advice. All right, let's take a look at the next question that I have. And, this is a discussion. This is going to be a forum today, y'all. This one's from Ash AOP answering your question here. My goals are to grow to 10K. This is very concrete. You see this? 10K followers and 1K subscribers to my Substack newsletter. Oh, we've got somebody with a Substack newsletter here. This is Ben Carlson has a Substack newsletter. Is he here right now? I saw him in here. Ben, if you're in, just interrupt me, and you can maybe mention some things about Substack. I don't like Substack. I'm just going to get that off of my chest right now. And there's a lot of reasons why. The point of building on social media is that so that you can deplatform yourself. You're like, what AOP? You're telling us to build on social media, and your ultimate goal is to get your fans off of Twitter or off of a site that you don't own. You don't own Twitter. You don't own Threads. You don't own Instagram. Other people do, and you can lose your account tomorrow. So ultimately, you want to build your projects and your places and your guides and your fans. You want to get them going and own something. So it's one of the reasons why we talk about building an email list, and we'll talk about that later in this course. So what I want to say to you is the problem with Substack is this. You're basically deplatforming yourself to somebody else's platform. And Substack is really restrictive, and there's just a lot of rules there. I'll tell you this. There's monster content creators. Like Chernovich has like well over 1 million followers, right? He started a Substack, and how was his monetization strategy going with that? He's not getting that many followers. And here's the reason why. He hasn't thought about his funnel well enough. Here's the reason why. He gives a lot of free content that's out there. People aren't going to pay you more money for stuff that they already can get for free. This is a general rule of sales. People are not going to pay you money for stuff that you can already sell for free. So when you have this Substack and you're like sending out emails once a week saying, upgrade to the paid content, you're really not offering them anything else. Like, there's no real benefit to it. Well, why can't I just get the free stuff? So the only people who really send you that money are the people who are like real big fans, and you really can't charge much for just giving it away, for charging all of a sudden for something that you can get for already free. The other problem with Substack is you don't really own it, and you're not really allowed to sell your offers on there. And this is the biggest problem with it. So the big money on Twitter is made when you create offers and then you sell them, right? This could be a coaching offer, this could be a digital course, a product, or whatever. And you can't sell those on Substack to your paid members. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but last time I checked, and I've talked to people who are on Substack, a few months ago, on Substack, I knew for a fact that you could not sell, so why would you go and build an email list at a place where you don't have free reign over what you can and can't do? All right. Does that make sense? All right. I'm getting so many questions, y'all, and this chat is moving. So this is the feistiest. I was talking to my CPP mods this morning. This is the feistiest CPP I've ever seen, y'all. There are like so many I've just tried to keep up with everything here. I'm going to do my best, but I'm going to just focus on what our task is at the day. Okay. Virgil, can you send me those answers directly, where I'm asking you not to post in that chat? Okay. All right. So Adam, we already covered what you posted. Okay. All right. So, that's my first response back to your answers. And we'll take a look at your profile on our sessions that are upcoming this weekend. Okay. I'm not here to give personalized feedback on profiles right now. What I could say for you to do, and I'll recommend this, is make sure you go to Create 24/7 and read through that profile session. Tomorrow's lesson is going to deal with profiles. So you're going to learn a lot more about what to do with profiles. Remember, this is a 30-day event, and we will get there. So I can I'd like seeing people's profiles, but I'm not going to give the feedback on that right now because we've got other days, including tomorrow, to start about that. This is Colin here. I want a successful coaching business and build a brand that helps optimize their health and well-being. That's awesome. My dream is to earn $20K per month on my own terms while providing an amazing family for my wife. I think fitness coaching is one of the best niches that is out there and that exists. The $20K per month is extremely doable in the fitness world. I know like half a dozen fitness coaches that are making well over $20K per month with clients and building an online audience and having many digital offers. My fear is that I get bogged down with other responsibilities and make this happen and regret it forever. But I don't think this will happen because I'm very driven for this. Okay, that's fair. My biggest obstacle is writing material that can go viral, increase traffic, and getting inbound leads. Look, all three, this is something that really interesting. This is why I love having this conversation right now. Colin said something really interesting right here. All three of these things that you just mentioned all tie in together. So writing viral material, increasing traffic, and getting leads inbound are all the same thing. Okay? So for instance, when you go viral, you increase your traffic and get inbound leads. When you go viral enough and increase traffic so much, and you create a buzz around your account, you will get so many inbound. People will just see you as an authority and they'll come to you directly. I'm going to have to mute another person. Okay. Yeah. All right. So all of those things tie in together. We're going to have sessions on how to go viral in a nutshell. The best thing that you can do is I sent out an email today, y'all. Did you all see my email today? My email today featured a product called Tweemex, which also ties in with Tweet Hunter. Now, you get a free 30-day month thing with Tweet Hunter. I am affiliated with Tweet Hunter. But the single best app that you can, or extension, a Chrome extension that you can have is something called Tweemex. And I have a link for it in that email. Go get Tweemex right now. Install it. I believe it's an extension for Chrome and probably whatever other, thing you're using. And take a look at it. Install it. Now, the reason why this is so important is the way to go viral is to study accounts that are in your niche that already work. Okay? There's no secret sauce to this, guys. I just gave you the secret sauce. The way to go viral is to study other big name accounts that go viral that are in your niche, and you write your own versions of these threads. That's the quickest way to go viral because you're going to look at, Google it, and install it. The easiest way to go viral is to just take a look at what's already out there and just, put your own spin on these things. This is not copy and pasting, but it's taking a look at things. So we had a fellow who was in our last cohort. His name was Dr. Brandon, right? Great guy. So when I have Tweemex, I don't have that annoying sidebar on my Twitter page where it says, listen, you might like. I don't like any. What's happening? Twitter killer, Deadpool 3. I don't care about all of those, okay? Instead, on the right-hand side is the highlights right here. And then when I go to somebody like Dr. Brandon's page, I can see all of his greatest hit tweets. Now, this saves me a ton of time because I don't have to scroll through everybody's, what is he hadn't been successful? I just see this. Every single serious ghostwriter that is out there knows how to write those. Okay. So if you want to learn how to write tweets that go viral, the quickest way to do it is to study people that are in your niche that are already successful. Okay. All right. I've got so many messages here. I know I'm just going to assure you that I will get to every single one of you, but it might just take me some time. And I'm willing to go for as long as we need to go to make this a successful chat. Patrick, I want to get into the creativity space. I don't know what that means. So my lesson tomorrow, which I already recorded, confession. If somebody doesn't understand what you do, they leave. I don't know what the creativity space is. And hopefully your brand is clarity. Like if you're a writer and you're like, oh, I'm going to teach you how to be more creative, that means you don't really know what you do. Now, if you're a writer and you tell people, I teach you, my name is Get Paid Writing, I know what he does. He's going to help me he's going to teach me how to make my writing more persuasive to make more money. So there's something concrete there that I know that I'm going to get from it. Okay. So be really careful of trying to be like, I'm going to be like this super creative thing. And some people will come to me and they'll be like, well, Dan Coe does it. You're not Dan Coe. You're not Dan. The difference between you and Dan Coe is that he has 500 hours worth of YouTube videos on his page. He has on his YouTube page, he has 50,000 different tweets. He has like 1 million followers over many different platforms. He has something called context. So he can brand himself like completely in that creative space because you already know what he talks about before he even starts talking these days. So focus more on being concrete. Okay, so I'm going to keep reading here. Patrick says, obviously, I still need to get clear on myself. Yes, I still feel that way. I'm 3 months in, so clarity on the future isn't 100%. I find it interesting. Yeah, you're basically, I didn't even read it, and you're kind of like talking yourself into my direction here. You need to be clear on what you offer people. Okay. This is going to sound like extremely. I want you to understand this. Somebody just said Twemex looks like Blackmagic. I don't use Blackmagic. You know why? Because there's just too much stuff going on there. The thing I like about Twemex is it tells me exactly what I need to know. What is going viral on other people's pages? That's the only thing that matters. For me, at least. Now, if you're in a different space and you're using Twitter for different reasons, maybe Blackmagic is for you. Okay? Back to clarity. It is essential that people come to your page and they know exactly what you are going to do. So he's asking, is it a viable space to operate in? No. Telling people I'm in the creative space is not a niche. Everyone's in the creative space. That's why. And nobody's going to really know what you do for them. So what is it that you actually do for people? That is going to need to be clear when you do your niche. All right, Mike Lamb. Mike, I appreciate you. You get bonus points today for making this so easy to read. Appreciate you, buddy. And I'm so glad that you're back for this round. What do you want to accomplish? I want to build. Okay, so this is kind of like the last one. And I really love Mike. I'm coming at him with some real tough love today. I want to build a business that helps people build the life of their dreams. What's that mean? So that's off on a foot, kind of like the last one. It's like, I don't know what that means. What is that? Okay. But I think you're going to define it right here. Not just make a lot of money and have fancy cars, but create a life where they are working towards their goals that makes them feel alive. None of this is quantitative, by the way. Pursuing passions that they have, not quantitative. And don't regret their life, not quantitative. So those aren't really solutions that you're providing. Because if somebody's making a lot of money and has more time with their family, see, that might be more of what you're trying to say that you do. They're going to accomplish those other parts automatically. For Twitter, I want to get to 10K followers and make 1 month K passive income. 1K month passive income it's so easy to make, Mike. It's somebody at your level could be there really quickly. I think you need to focus on growing this account a little bit more, getting really serious about putting your digital real estate in the best possible way. I don't feel as though enough improvements were made on your profile and your digital real estate so that it would grow naturally. It's not magnetic enough. Okay. Though you are an incredible networker, you need to have more of a digital real estate where people are coming to you. So people who already know you, they're attracted to you because you're a good person and you have a great personality. But you need to get more people. You need to have more curbside appeal with your account. And I need to see this from your profile picture to your banner. And we could talk more about this later. Okay. So you need to think more about what we call the top of your funnel. All right. Jane, people sending me links to their profiles, but we've already talked about their accounts. Ibby here. And we'll have a part of this where we can just chat it up and I'll get back to you and get back to second questions. But I want to take people who are coming in first. Ibby says, my answer's for lesson 2. I want to build a 10K Twitter following. Great. And grow a second revenue income stream to a private mentorship and mastermind. That's cool, right? Very good. You can do that. Not sure what your niche is, but most of them would be able to do well. What are your dreams are aspirations are? Not be dependent on my job for income. Your biggest fear is being criticized. Oh, I don't like that. Oof. Criticism is a good thing. Criticism is a good thing. I constantly seek criticism. So for myself, and anybody who's in my inner circle, I cannot stand one thing in life. I cannot stand yes men. I cannot stand yes men. I cannot stand yes men. I want people coming to me and going, people who are in my inner circle, I want them to take a look at this and give me what they really think. There are many times where Eddie Kwan, he's not here, he's come to me and he's been like, AOP, this is the dumbest thing I have ever seen. I usually make moves that are pretty bold too. So sometimes I get this, that's ridiculous. You need to change this right now. I go, well, what do you think we should do? And it's not like he's not a bootlicker. So he'll come to me because he's based and he'll go, you need to do this, this, and this. And then maybe I'll take 2 or 3 of those things. I'm going to mute another person, server mute. And I don't enjoy yes men because I want people who are going to come in and you don't get better. You don't get better from that. You don't get better from being surrounded by a bunch of people who are going to hurt, they're gonna screw your. It's all cognitive bias at this stage. They're all gonna be like, yeah, and you're not really gonna get anything done, and you're not gonna grow. So your biggest fear of being criticized, I appreciate you sharing that with us, but you're never gonna get better unless you get that kind of criticism from people. Putting in the work and not seeing the results is not a fear either. This is cool. I'm glad you're sharing this, by the way. Putting in work and not seeing results, because anytime you put in the work for something, you are getting better at something. So putting in the work automatically breeds results. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the next one. This is Keith. Yeah. Keith right here. And we've got, saw this on Telegram, sent this on Telegram. Yeah, well, I'm actually conducting the sessions. I'm here on the Discord the most, okay? I want to become financially independent by building a performance coaching business online. Performance coaching business. Through individual coaching and my coaching community. All right. So when somebody comes to me with a niche, one of the things that I ask them is oh, you want to be financially independent on that? Are there other people in that niche that are already financially independent? The answer may be yes or no. And sometimes I'll have people come to me and they'll be like, I want to make a ton of money that is in this niche. Okay, so you're clarifying this. Keith is following it up with sports performance and training athletes. That's fantastic. Are there other people in that niche that are online that are doing that? The answer is yes. So you're in good shape. I didn't really get that. I was feeling more like performance coaching from the way you were talking about this, helping business people wake up at 5 a.m. or something like that. So dreams and aspirations, become the voice of sports performance training on Twitter. Biggest fears, being forced to coach because of finances and not being able to give my family what I need of money, growing my online community and competition. Who else is in this space that does exactly what you do? So for specific, it could be a really interesting account, especially if you landed a few big clients. You could talk about how you're helping them train. But then again, if I was helping a professional athlete train, I would be using that as a way to advertise a lower level offer to help, kind of regular people who are in the sports performance world train. So it's all interesting. Just make sure that this is Strength Coach Network. Okay, cool. There's plenty. I actually coach multiple strength coaches right now. One is a woman too. Very cool. Dr. Ralph. He's swinging the bat hard. I like it, Dr. Ralph. He wants to get to $30K per month in 6 months. Man, that's ambitious. Can it be done? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. It all depends on how hard you go after this. So this is Dr. Ralph. He's got what your dreams and aspirations are. My financial independence for my family. My goal is $30K in 6 months. being mediocre average, not driving enough traffic to sales calls. Okay, so I mentioned that earlier. And I guess I'll piggyback on this. Viral, increase traffic, and get lead. I said it once earlier before. That's the quickest way to do it using your Twitter account. Another way to do it is to start some kind of email list, talk and nurture those leads, and then you sell to those. I will say this. This is one of the biggest obstacles you'll face when you get too much. I want to see some of you guys get so much traffic that you have too many sales calls booked up. At that point, you're going to have to start qualifying your leads by sending them some kind of like Google form where they fill it out. So when I take people on for mentorship, I don't take everybody. I have them fill out a form first, right? And 90% of the people that fill out the form, I don't even respond to. Because I'm like, I already know that this isn't going to work. Yeah. And I'm not like, I just don't even respond. And I say that, if I ever throw the form out, I go, hey, let's fill this out. I'll take a look at it. And I don't even respond back to them. Once you're generating so much traffic, I would suggest that you do the same, where you ask people. You can just ask them, have you ever signed up for coaching before? Right? That's you can ask these questions in ways where you're not prying too much, but you can figure out whether or not this is going to be worth getting on a call with. Unfortunately, this is how Twitter works. And this is why I actually like my selling to an email list more. A lot of the people on Twitter are cheap. A lot of the people on Twitter are just cheap. Now, there are coaches that do make a full-time living over $20K per month, and all they do is sell to their Twitter timeline. This is true. But you have to kind of be able to have an eye for whether or not somebody's going to be worth getting on a call with. Because there's going to be a lot of people who are like, hey, I'm going to do a call. They get on a call, they talk to you for 30 minutes, and they try to get as much free game as possible, and then they bail. Unfortunately, that happens. So at some point, hopefully you're generating enough traffic to get some leads. But I think in the early stages, it's not bad to just get on calls with people. I think that's fine. All right, Ryan's got a question. Digital nomad. He wants to be a digital nomad. We have a digital nomad in here. Our good friend Francis is a digital nomad. He's been part of our cohort for a long time, and he lives that lifestyle. I want to be a full-time email copywriter. There's a lot of people who want to be email copywriters these days. By the way, Ryan, can I just give you a heads up? Can you get rid of that picture that is a picture of you taking a picture in a selfie in a mirror? Because when I take a look at this, and this is a concept that some of you guys are going to have to get in your brains right now. You show people, not tell. You show people, not tell. I want to tell you about two things here. Let's say that two guys approach me on Twitter. One guy looks like Ryan. No offense, Ryan. I'm picking on you, by the way. They've got a selfie in a mirror. I really can't even see him anyway. He's got a selfie in a mirror, and he's pitching me an offer about being an email copywriter. And then the other guy who pitches me an offer looks like George 10. Which one looks like an email copywriter? Which one looks like he's going to be able to deliver? I can look at George 10, and I understand that he understands the concepts and the core philosophies behind copywriting just by looking at him, because he's exciting. That's the number one rule of copywriting, is to be able to capture people's attention at all times. So if you want to make it like a full-time email copywriter, you have to present yourself in a way that is congruent with that offer. Okay. Email copywriters too. It's a really crowded space, and I wonder how many of them are actually making money. It is I have to say though, I think that is probably one of the biggest, highest upside areas to get into. My issue with email copywriters is most of the stuff that I get, and I get so many people sending me emails that they write, they're just not good. They're just not good emails. Are people laughing in the chat over the stuff that I'm saying? Oh, Ryan's laughing. Ryan, I want to give you big props, dude. Like I don't lie, and I try to give people feedback that's going to make them get better. Okay. So this is like stepping onto the Yankees and you're swinging at pitches 2 feet out of the strike zone, the coach is going to say something. And Ryan, I appreciate Ryan being a good sport. Appreciate you. Because we all get better by doing this. We all get better by this group discussion. So what I want to say about the email copywriters, I get people pitching email copywriting to me all the time. I had one guy who actually was pitching me good stuff. I was reading the emails. I actually used some of his emails, but he never told me what his offer was. And I was like, well, what do you want? So people need to know what you offer. There needs to be real clarity in your offer. It needs to be concrete. Like, look, I'm going to write these 10 emails for you. I'm either going to get a percentage of what you get with an affiliate link, or, you can write me one, you can pay me $200 per email, whatever you want to charge when you're first starting out. But they need to be good. Why would I hire somebody that's not as good as me at writing emails? I actually have a ghostwriter. AOP has a ghostwriter secret. The ghostwriter that I have, and I'm not going to say what they do for me. They cover one specific field for me. And now, when I talk with them about what I want, they're actually better than me. So I want to hire somebody who is better at delivering results than I am. And those are the people that are going to be able to pay you. So just think about that when it comes to email copywriting. All right, let's take a look at what we've got going on here. Here's Nick loves Spain. I love Spain too. Spain is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. By the way, doesn't Nick look like a guy that loves Spain too? See, he fits with his offer, as I was saying 2 seconds ago. I want to become the Spain guy. Okay. Why not the Europe guy, though? Why not the one that talks about, like, you could be like the Rick Steves? I think Spain guy is this when you're coming in on like too narrow of a niche, in my opinion. And you can still keep the Nick loves Spain. But you could be like a Europe, a travel guy, an expert on regions, cities, towns. So much cool stuff that you could be writing about. This is great. People are coming in and they just want to grow the audience and talk about cool stuff. They're going to grow like wildfire. So you can talk about some of the most interesting landmarks, cities, cathedrals. These are all things that you can write about. You can write a thread on the best 10 cathedrals in Europe and talk about all of these things and talk about all of the beautiful architecture that is inside of this. My friend Culture Critic writes threads about this all the time. Here's beautiful architecture. People love sharing. Why? Because people love sharing beautiful images. And you can share like your take on this. You don't have to be as critical on these places as we are, but you can talk about, places and festivals. You can share insights in the cultures and backgrounds and relate it to people's lives now. The lessons that you learn while you're traveling. Ooh, I bet that would be a great thread as well. So inspired me is just particularly Spain. I think it's a little too narrow. I say this as an American. I'd like to revolutionize travel Twitter. I like that, which is a poorly executed space. I agree with all of you. I cannot believe there's nobody really doing this the right way. And I'm going to tell you the right way right now, Nick. The right way is to be able to relate it to lessons. Everything is, as I see people write these threads and blah, 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 blah. People read these threads and they share these threads and they love these threads because of the lessons that are learned inside of these threads. So if you can relate travel to life lessons and how self-improvement, I think it would be perfect for the Twitter space. I'm excited to see how you grow, and make sure you install that Twemex, Nick. I think you would greatly benefit from it. Start studying those, like Culture Critic, Cultural Tutor, Cost of Glory, kind of. You could like do Cost of Glory is in here, Rewire the West, those guys. And there's also a whole bunch of other people who are in the travel space, but those guys are successful because they relate it to lessons that you can learn. And if somebody who's like a, personal brand and was doing the same thing, I think they would grow very well. Richard Zhang, $150K a year in passive income in 3 years so I can spend time with my family. Real estate's my main vehicle now. That's what you need to tweet about, Richard. So, real estate needs to be your thing. We've had a few real estate people come through our cohort. And, I've seen some really good. So what you got to do is you got to really start. And I think we hopped on a call before this. We were talking about this earlier. And I really like that. I do want to say, you guys got to share what you're doing. You share your before and afters. I've seen these couple people posting that, like, you're a real estate operator. Oh, you did a flip, take before. It was this dump. People love seeing transitions and transformations on Twitter. This isn't any space, y'all. You may have seen like these fitness threads or these tweets, right? I was once 650 pounds, but now I'm 150 pounds and I have a ripped 6-pack of abs. It's inspirational to people to see like where you get after 6 months of work or a year of work or 3 or 4 years of work. It is inspirational to Twitter. It's my pinned tweet pretty much, as well as like a story of transformations are so powerful. So you can use that in your real estate business as well. What obstacles are you facing? Not sure if I'm going anywhere, but sometimes I set a tweet. Oh, this is a good one. Send out a tweet, retweet, comment, and there's little response. Yeah, you have a dead account, right? So who are you trading tweets with? Are you leveraging other people's audiences? Good thing we're going to start a room in here where you can start sharing this. How does Twitter work, y'all? Like, let's say you have 100 or 200 people as followers, right? The only people who see your tweets are your followers, unless they interact with your tweet. Okay, it's like a chain reaction. Twitter is a chain reaction. And they see the tweet, and let's say one of your audiences retweets it. So then their audience sees it as well. That's how Twitter works. So you need to have people start retweeting, liking, or commenting on your post. Communities like Masterclass, which I run, and CPP, we're going to start our room soon. It's going to be a place for you to start to leverage other people's audiences. All right, MC. I'm on Twitter. Goals to grow to a large following of 50,000 or more. That's fine. Twitter audience to funnel subscriptions to my Substack, interact with my career writing and my full-time income through thought leadership. I don't know what thought leadership is in my Substack. By the way, I know you don't like Substack, but it's working for me. What does working for me mean, though? I don't know what that means. If it's working for you, then just keep it. 2K paying subscribers is the goal. So what is that? So what does working for you mean? Like, for instance, I mentioned another big name content creator. I think like even with their huge audience over 7 figures, they were only to generate like $1,000 worth of paid subscribers per month. To me, that's peanuts. But if that's working for you, that's fine. 2K paying subscribers is the goal. Y'all, if I wanted to make 10K by the end of the day, I could. So, but I wouldn't be able to use Substack. Like, Substack would not be a tool that I would be able to use to help me get there. Right? So that's the problem with Substack. But if you just want to have a 2K passive income, by all means, you can do that, and you can write interesting Twitter content. The obstacle you are going to face is that people are going to look at this and go, why should I pay for something that I'm pretty much getting 99% already for free? You know? And like these guys who are on like political Twitter, all they do is post hot takes on Twitter all day, you know, and then when they get to Substack, it's like, you want to upgrade for paid subscription so that you can hear more in depth of my rants and raves on political Twitter. They don't really do very well because they don't improve anybody's lives. That's why. Okay. Raul says, we want you to know what you accomplish. I need to get out of debt and any loans I have. So, you know, one of the things that I actually do have debt, but it's like really small. It's just because I just moved. I don't have debt. I don't pay for cars with debt. I don't believe in debt. I know this isn't what CPP is about, but I'm just somebody who does many things as debt free as possible. Spend time with loved ones, burden of responsibility. What obstacles? Instant gratification of money. Yeah. Get rich quick is go broke fast. That's all I'm going to say. I'm a firm believer in that. I like building on the strongest foundations possible. It's why I can tweet the way that I do. It's why I run my business the way that I do. I feel like I can't run a business properly unless I am personally set up in a great spot so that I can serve my customers better. All right, I'm going to go to the next one. Speaking of putting themselves in a good financial situation, This is Eric, Early Finance. Eric, how are you doing today? Good profile picture, by the way. See, that's a good profile picture. Y'all see this? Eric looks like a guy that can make me more money. Just right off of the bat. It's like, there we go. Stage 3 finance. Okay. That's interesting. The only thing that I'm going to say about your branding right here is I don't understand what that is. So there's nothing concrete in my mind that comes there when I see a stage 3 finance. If this was get rich finance or build wealth finance or something that was a little more or something that would allow me to, that would prime me for what you're going to do. Stage 3 doesn't do anything, but I'm getting on a tangent here. My goal for this cohort is to continue to grow in terms of followers, but also as a businessman. Ooh, I love it. I've started making some money, but I want to ramp this up consistently and somewhat predictable income. Great news for you, Eric. I could tell that I liked you. If you have an offer that has made money already, you have what I call a validated offer. A validated offer. Great news. If you've sold it once, you can sell it twice. If you've sold once, you can sell it twice. You just need to up the frequency more. So you need to find a way to put it on there and get it out there and get it seen by more of an audience, which is perfect because we're going to teach you how to go viral here, and more people are going to see your offers and more people are going to get your email list. That's great. So you're like at a frequency problem in our opinion. So if you've got an offer, let's say that you coach people on building wealth, like you go through their fight. I knew a guy that was coaching other people. He's a multimillionaire. His name is Matthias or Mathis on Twitter. What is his name again? Well, anyway, he's in masterclass actually. And he sells, because I got on a call with him in his early stages. He works with people for $2,000. He goes through your personal finances and he helps you get them in the best shape possible. And he saves you basically like 10, 15K per year. So that's how his offer is around. And he gets on calls with you like 2 or 3 times per year. He helps go through your finances and he helps get you in the best financial state possible. And he's got a whole bunch of clients that he helps do that with. So maybe you do that. And I like everything you say about your dreams. You want to stop trading time for money. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what digital real estate can do for you. My biggest fear is failure. Failure is where you learn. Imposter syndrome is, oh boy, imposter syndrome. Okay, yeah, so I'm looking at this chat right here. I mentioned this earlier. I'm going to get to every single person. Thank you for DMing me that you sent me your answers, but I'll get them in the order that I received them. Okay? Appreciate it. All right, so here is boom, boom, boom. Next one. Gosh, got to take in mind I've gotten like 50 of these. And I'm making sure I go through, and I will get to every single person here. What do you want to accomplish? I want to be someone who sells digital, grow my email list like Eddie Kwan. Knowledge of copywriting. Okay, so if you want to learn copywriting, the best guy to study is guys like Eddie Kwan and George Sand. They're all great, but the best guy to study is a guy named Ben Settle. Okay? Ben Settle is by far the best copywriter in my living on the face of the earth right now. I'm friends with guys who are copywriters too. I feel bad because I'm not dissing them. But I feel like Ben is the best one of all time. Eddie Kwan got me into Ben Settle, crypto copywriter. He has made me more money than any other person, Ben Settle. For instance, I went through his, it's a book that you can get on Amazon. What is it? It's $4. It is a $4 book right now. It's called Crypto Copywriting Secrets. There's a link. That's not an affiliate link. I'm just posting this right here. And if you're really interested in copywriting and becoming a more influential writer, read this one because this is going to help you learn how to write sales letters or landing pages extremely well. Okay. Your writing needs to be as interesting as possible. So you kind of got to learn the background and the secrets behind crypto copywriting. I'm also in the Email Players Club. And since I joined there, I've made something like 10, 20 grand more per month. So it's worked out well for me. learning how to write persuasively. Learning how to write persuasively. I'm going to spell it wrong too. Oh, I spell everything wrong. Learning how to write persuasively is the biggest lever that you can pull on Twitter or in life. Well, actually, in any site. It doesn't matter. It could be email copywriting, it could be whatever. So persuasive writing is the most important part. 5K. I want to make 5K per month working 8 to 5 as a dentist. I'm trying to be like another Kieran Drew. Kieran Drew was a dentist. Is that right? Was Eddie Kwan a dentist too? Eddie Kwan was an erotic fiction writer before he did. It's actually a true story. Somebody mentioned it in one of the chats. I think it was Virgil who mentioned that in one of the chats. But yeah. So you study as much copywriting and study as much persuasive writing as possible. It's going to help you out in any field. Oh, I'm reading this one obstacle. This is an interesting obstacle from, I hope I'm saying your name right, Ikram. I'm too scared to write in English because it's not my main language. Okay, so what I want to say for that is you need to write in English. And there's a lot of people who come to me and they go, hey, OP, can I sign up for CPP? I write in Arabic or Spanish. Okay, all of that's cool and all. That's fine. And I say, yes, of course you can write in your native language. I've had people use my products in any language. All the same concepts work, okay? The problem is this. I'll tell you this, as a digital content creator, I have to add up the numbers, but I'm around like $1 million in sales over the past 2.5 years. Okay. Over 50% of my sales come from the United States. Over 50% of my sales come from the United States. And I'm going to tell you now, the United States, and I'm sure a lot of you are from the United States, they like to speak one language really, and it's English. Okay. That's just how people are here. So if you're writing in a different language, you're cutting yourself away from people who are, you're cutting yourself off the knees from potentially selling down the road to people who have money. Okay. That's your problem. And especially if you're going to do it in copywriting, because people are going to want to hire you if you are writing in English, right? So there's a guy named J.K. Molina. Y'all familiar with J.K. Molina? He was one of our guests in one of our first cohorts, and he's a contributor in Masterclass, of course, right? Do you all know that J.K. Molina is not a native English speaker? English is his second language. Could you even tell? Yeah. English is his second language. So I got on a call with him, and somebody asked this question. JK, should I write in Spanish or should I write in English? And he was like, do you want to make money? He's like, you got to talk to the gringos to make the money. Right? So there is something that you're going to, again, this is a skill that is going to benefit you in every single aspect in life. Dave is here. Dave, how are you doing today, buddy? The Alvaro, you want to add to that? I see him typing. I love the Alvaro. Make friends with Alvaro. He is a man that is going places. Smart guy, sharp guy. Dave W., second time back here. Thanks, Dave, for joining us again. We want to know what you want to call. I'm building an online business by coaching people on high performance productivity. Okay, so here's my problem with what you got right there. Whenever I see somebody say, I'm a productivity coach, I don't really understand. The problem is that they're almost, it's so vague on what they can offer. So teaching people how to be productive. Let me tell you, as I mute another person, I got to find the person. This is like playing a game here. Oh, it's Skylar, server mute. Okay. So good morning, Skylar. Big fan of Skylar. So when I talk to people who go, I need a performance coach. Okay. I want to be a performance coach. Think about your potential clients. What kind of person is going to hire a performance coach? A lazy person or somebody who has their act together? What kind of person has money? So whenever you're crafting an offer, if you can put your offer and sell to people who actually have money, I think most of the people that you're going to have that need like performance coaching, they're going to be really people who are like quite up to so-called snuff. And I don't really know anybody who's like monetized in that space. I don't know. Now, health, on the other hand, yes. People who have money want health coaches, like learn how to lose fat, learn how to lift weights, all of those things, because they're so busy, they need a coach to help them prod them along the way. So those are all things for you to think about. I'm self-taught. What obstacles are you facing? I'm self-taught in a niche, a passion project. I don't understand what that means. So it's harder to convey authority in this area. I don't know what that means. So I think that what you're trying to say is that you feel like you're using your space as a way to just be creative, right? Is that more what you're saying? I want to warn you against this from a business perspective. I love using Twitter as like therapy and a creative outlet, by the way. But you have to be careful not to turn your Twitter page into a creative writing assignment. Be careful not to turn your page into a creative writing assignment. So Dave is following up. People that make 100K and want to double it, okay? So my question to you, are those people looking for performance coaches? I don't know. I don't see anyone here's why I'm going to warn you about this, performance coaching. I don't see anybody that's monetized in that space that has stayed there for a long time. I'm just telling you. I don't. There might be like one, it's just a space that's not, didn't Joey do it? I think I already answered your question right there. If it was so good, people would be in it constantly, right? Right. Okay. Yeah. I've been subtly trying to say that. I think you got the hint now. All right. Maybe you can make it work, though. I'm sure you can get like a handful of clients. The problem is, as I said earlier, you're going to run into people, high performance people aren't really going to hire you. It's the people who really need that motivation, and they don't have money. Okay, Hakeem says, I'm a web developer who picked up writing and marketing. Awesome. What a combination. That's a great talent stack there, by the way. I aspire to be a personal brand where I help businesses write. This is good. This is great. This is great. You're targeting people who have money, and your talent stack is great. You're a web developer. All of this is awesome. I want to make sure as you're growing, you're picking up testimonials. Make sure you're picking up testimonials that quantify how much more business you've been able to generate for people as much as possible. Okay. What are your biggest fears? Not settling for a niche. You just told me what your niche was. You're a web developer that talks. So you write about marketing and writing, right? And you occasionally talk about web design. What obstacles are you facing? Establishing authority on Twitter. You need to pick up clients and talk about how much more money you have brought them. I'm going to give you guys a huge tip. All right. Now, this is for people who already have a little bit of a page going and some momentum going on Twitter. Your highlights is gold. The highlights tab is gold for you. The best way to use highlights is to use it as a way to place your testimonials. Okay. So for instance, here's somebody who does it extremely well. This is Coach Kev, right? And Coach Kev's gone through our cohorts before. He's a good friend of mine. If you go to his highlights tab on his page at Coach Kev, you will see all of his testimonials there. That's what you need to be putting. Oh man, it's unbelievable how many of you guys come on with the mics on. Maybe Discord does that does that automatically. I'm going to give you all the benefit of the doubt. But take a look at how well Coach Kev is using his highlights tab. This highlights tab is a blessing because who's going to the highlights tab? It's people who are really snoping around on your page, who are really interested in what you do. And then you take a look at these and you put them on the highlights tab. So that's a spot where you just park all of your best testimonials. There's your tip of the day. Rick Blaine. He's coming in short and sweet today. I'm going to post his comment here. I'm looking to use Twitter to drive leads to newsletters. That's the place. That is exactly what you should be doing. Currently, the lists are, 30 and 20K. 100 leads per week from Twitter. That's it. Man, you've got, I want you to sell the next, hey, make sure you sell the next CPP to your email list. I'll send you an affiliate link. No problem, Rick. You can make a few $1,000s off of that easily. Ben Meir once sent out an email promoting CPP to his email list. He made $6,000 from it. So if you got a big email list, you can definitely promote CPP there. So currently the lists are 30 and 20K. Yeah. So what you need to do is you need to post content that goes viral, does extremely well, and you need to plug these, your email list at the end of it. So our good friend Eddie Kwan he's a pro at this right here. And you could take a look at some of his viral tweets. Whenever he has a viral tweet that pops off, guess what he's going to do? He's going to promote his email list or one of his viral. Okay. So this is one of my favorite threads of all time, because this is actually about me. And he turned it into a thread. He turned me into a thread. We talked about plagiarism yesterday. I just shook my head when I saw this thread go out onto the timeline. I was like, oh, I'm so stupid. Why didn't I write this thread? Spoke to a guy who makes $50K a month on Twitter. No logo, no cutting, no website, no comp plus funnels. So as you read the thread, he's going to, and look how many 10,000 likes, 20K bookmarks, right? Guess what's at the end of it right here? You get a call to action to his lead magnet, which is going to get you on his email list, which is going to help grow his newsletter. So if you want to get 100 leads per week from Twitter, it's easy. Get yourself a large audience, start posting threads consistently once or twice a week, plug your email list, and have it in your bio as well, kind of like how Eddie does it. He's using his directly as a funnel. Get your special report here. I'm going to talk more about this specifically on how to use your Twitter page as a funnel tomorrow's branding lesson. So if you want to check that out, that's what you need to do. All right, Copy Stew. Thank you all for being so patient today, by the way. I got so many messages. I'm working my way through it. I promise. I'm getting through all of it. But you know what? Here's the cool part. Aren't you learning? When I give comments to other people, aren't you learning from them? Aren't you learning from this? So like, as I give a comment to somebody else, you're learning from this. It's kind of like a group Q&A, taking a look at it all. James is saying lots of notes. Yeah, that's what the whole point of today is. I'm basically riffing off of stuff you guys are sending me, and we can all learn from it together. Copy Stu says, I'm a copywriter working with course creators, offers, and e-com brands. Cool. Make sure you're getting your highlights page going. I want to build my brand so I can add other passive income streams. What are your goals and aspirations? At this stage, I don't have an offer. I've got a list. If you can call it that. I was about to say 100 subs isn't much of a list. But I stopped emailing 2 months ago. What, Stu? My man, you need to get that growing and going. At a bare minimum, you should be emailing your list once a week, guys. Even if it's just checking in and saying hi. Like, what do you want to see? What do you want to learn from me? Or sharing some testimonials. Do you all see the different kinds of emails that I put out? I have a whole list of types of emails that I can generate. Okay, so real quick on this. When I tweet, well, I tweet so many memes these days just because I use my audience as like a forum. But there's many ways to tweet, right? You can, of course, post a meme. You can post a question. You can post a list. You can post a platitude. You can post a thread. You can post a testimonial. All of them are going to give you the result that you want. And if you want to take a look at many different ways to tweet, head to the resource room and click on 101 ways to write a tweet. There are 101 different kinds of tweets in there. So, and I do the same for emails. I have many different emails as well. I just like templatize those in my mind. So once in a while, I'll send an email. I'll have like a movie email. I was watching this movie. I was watching Scent of a Woman, and what's his name said, hoo-ah, at the end, right? That reminds me of this, right? And that's an email. Or I have a email that's about testimonials. I love these testimonial ones. I just get somebody to send me a testimonial. I'll use the template and copy and paste it and put it into an email. Boom, call to action to something. So you need to think about, group all of your types of emails. You're a copywriter too, so this is something that you should be natural at. You templatize all of these different emails that you have. Maybe one could be a story about how you did something yesterday, or a remind you, or a big lesson, or just a list. I love list emails, like 37 reasons to write every single day. I think I wrote something like that a while ago. They're great. They're just easy, and they help you freestyle and help you come up with content. They help you become, as I said back to Red, your job, everyone, is to be a prolific writer. How much are you writing per day? Right? So don't shy away from the opportunities to connect with your audience. Another thing I want to say is if you're not getting motivated to write to your email list, it's probably because they don't buy anything. I got to write to my email list often, even though I am taking a break, because they're always buying. Somebody's asking a question. How do I see AOP's presentation screen? There isn't one. I can't do a presentation screen because there's so many people in the chat. I'm using the lesson 2 room for notes. So that's where I'm putting in all of these. Yeah. I think I would break Discord if I had all of this going on at once. Jose's here. AOP. Okay, somebody just let me know. Okay. All right, so Joshua, I got to you. I told you I would get to you, and now we are here. Take a look at what you've got right here, Joshua. Yo, I've been talking for 75 minutes straight. I'm still going. I'm 18 years old and I graduated high school. Congratulations. I'm currently taking a gap to travel. Oh, this sounds like amazing things to tweet about. You're in Nepal. Oh my gosh. I bet you have so many cool pictures that you're sharing with your digital audience. Amazing. But I want to be able to build a career that's location dependent so I could become another digital nomad. Cool. So like my favorite digital nomad is Francis on Twitter, who, again, he's part of our cohort, freelance and travel, blah, 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 blah. I am sure that you have gone to his page, you've installed Tweemex, and you are checking out all of his best tweets of all time. Oh, by the way, Francis got a great pinned tweet, which is a testimonial. Smart guy. See, Francis is a smart guy. Look at how good this testimonial is, by the way. Oh, this is so good. His pinned tweet right here. Somebody put G for Francis. Look at this. This is like $5,600 per month. My student Justin just closed a 56-month freelance email copy client. He had no experience, only 6 emails, and just started copy a month ago. Here's the system I gave him. Steal it to get your first client as well. You would have to be, that is such good copywriting. You would have to be crazy not to hit like or retweet. Look, I didn't hit like or retweet. I'm going to give it a like. But you could take a look at all of his greatest tweets of all time. Oh, I love this as well. He stole this one from us. See how much I care about that stuff, by the way? I've written a similar tweet as well at age, where's this one? Yeah, look, I mean, I've written this as well, but I love these kinds of tweets here. He wrote one at 20, I overdosed. At 23, I taught abroad. It's the story that is inspirational to people. Right? Tells a little bit about yourself. Do you guys like how my one on February 16th, the last line doesn't even make any sense? Make every year better than the next. 5,000 likes. Doesn't even make any sense. That's why typos are overrated. Because people, finish it in their mind and they care more about the meaning behind what you say. So make sure you're studying and you're taking a look. Make sure you're talking about what you're doing in life, right? The travel part's the inspiration part. So if you want to be a digital nomad, you're in Nepal. You're sharing that with your audience. You're sharing that within communities. Currently, I have an email marketing company. Cool, 6 clients, and I want to grow it to 5. Okay, so again, this is another person with a validated offer. Congratulations! If one person has purchased and paid you money, you have what we call a validated offer. That means all you need to do is start generating more traffic to your page. And how do you generate more traffic per page? You got to write some viral tweets. You got to get more people looking at your page. You got to be nurturing your email list all along the way. Tim is here. Short and sweet again. Tim's got Agent Smith from The Matrix. 10K a month in 1 year. This is all this is not enough here. I don't, dreams and aspirations, passive income, financial, biggest fear, not making any headway. Obstacles, 1 month into Twitter and not growing. I'm not sure if I'm in the wrong niche. So here's I'm just confused here, right? Because copy veteran, I'm assuming that you are a copywriter, but you've written to me, and nothing here is easy to read. Nothing here is exciting to read. Nothing here shows me that you're a copywriter. Here's a red pill for you. You can't just show up on Twitter and just say, I'm a copywriter. Bye. You have to earn people's business. Again, my lesson is about this tomorrow. You have to get in the mindset of earning people's business. You can't just show up and go on Twitter and be like, yo, I'm a copywriter, bye. You have to give people a reason to buy. You have to make them feel absolutely so stupid for not hitting like or retweet. Take a look at that tweet by Francis. You would feel ridiculous if you saw that on your timeline and you didn't like or comment on it. Who would pass up learning how to earn an extra $56K per month? So, you have to show me that you are. Now, a copywriter. You don't. I'm a copywriter. I have written 4 6-figure sales pages. I actually never talk about this. I have 4 6-figure sales pages. I don't write copy. Well, the only person I write copy for is myself. So don't ask me to write yours. But you're not growing. Are you making connections with people? Are you networking? Are you leveraging other people's audiences? These are all things that you have to do while you're getting the ball rolling on Twitter. Make sure you're looking at that ultimate beginner's guide that we have in the resources room. We're going to have a presentation later on exactly what to do on day one when you need to get started. But that's not until midway point through our CPP. I'm just going to let you know that because there's so much to cover right now. And we want to make sure your digital real estate is in the right spot. All right. So next question. What do you want to accomplish? I'm in the presentative health and longevity space. That's cool. I've noticed there's a lot of threads that do well about aging, right? Didn't Dan Go have a thread about aging? Somebody did. Yeah. This is such a good thread. Fit Founder. So we can tell people are interested in that space. My goal is to communicate things simply and clearly for everyone. That's a good goal. That is a great goal. This is excellent. Well done here. Clarity. Oh, what was it? There was a whole, I don't want to say the slogan because somebody will, you want to be clear. Clear over clever. I'm probably going to get, hopefully I don't owe Ship 30 for 30 royalties for saying that, but clear over clever, okay? That's what you ultimately want to do. There's somebody with their mic on. Can somebody turn that mic off? Oh, it's Tim. All right, I'll just mute. Okay. Look, you guys got to keep those mics off. Must be something with Discord where it's like turning people's mics on. All right, Virgil. He wants to grow to 100,000 followers. I'll say one of the easiest things to do on Twitter is just grow. The monetization part is the harder part of the two. You want to grow to 100K followers and 10K newsletter subscribers. That's great. So I want you to start thinking about people who are in your niche who are over that 100,000 followers who all have those 10K newsletter subscribers. Take a look at what they're posting, install that Twemex, take a look at those viral threads. So when I share like Dan Go's thread here, by the way, can I add, do I even need to add this disclaimer? You don't copy and paste it, okay? I don't want to see somebody things I'm doing at blank to avoid Gret when I'm 83. No, but that's a signal that maybe you can write a thread on anti-aging or things that you can, well, actually that's a avoid regret thread. I have seen, but now actually as you read this, it does center on, as I read the content there that's still on my page. So first of all, you need to study all of the content creators who you aspire to be, install that Twemex and start taking a look at what they do. Building an audience is the easiest thing to do on this platform. I can assure you that. Kay says, the more you, by the way, I want to say this, the more you sell, the slower you grow. And the best way to do it is to find the secret sauce between the two, is be able to grow while you're selling. Patrick says, I think everyone pops on with a mic by default. I had to mute manually before joining. You know what? Then that's on me, right? There's probably a way to set it where people come on muted. Now, I know how to do that on Zoom, but for some reason, maybe I don't see that option in Discord. It might be somewhere in here, but it's not a big deal, guys. It's not a big deal. All right, so we take a look at K. Better writing and selling content in the next 6 months, 5K per month. 30K on Twitter, 5K email list. A loyal community where you make men better. This is all fantastic. A purpose and direction-oriented life. All of this is awesome. So I believe you're in like some fitness coach space. It's a validated offer. There's plenty of people who are making money online that are doing this. 5K per month. How many clients is that? Oh, ideally, that's going to be around 2, maybe 3 when you're just getting started. So if you think at 5K per month, it's a lot easier than you think. All you need to do is pick up 2 or 3 more clients per month. I want to earn 20K in the next 2 years. Yeah, some biggest fears. Going back to the 9 to 5. I have trouble selling to my audience and build more authority. So what are the best threads that you have ever seen? Actually, you know what? I'm going to go to your page right now, okay? This is one that I am going to go to because I'm not sure what the offer is. I'm assuming that it is fitness. Okay, so this is like a masculinity type thread. So here's some issues that you're going to run into right now. I am going to look at somebody's page because I think there's some issues here. This is a page that's built for growth and not sales. And tomorrow's lesson is actually going to talk about the difference between the two. So when I look at your thread, boy, it seems really intense, okay? But that's fine. But it looks like an account that doesn't really have much of a personality because it's very vague, all right? And what I mean by this is something that's built for growth because it's like, oh, this feels more like saccharine things that are going to be like, yes, I'm nodding my head in agreement with you. Like, look at your most viral tweet right here. If she's sewing skin on, so this is a great tweet, by the way. I want to give you big props for this. This is an awesome tweet. If she's sewing skin on social media, it's not for her girlfriends and it's not for you. Act accordingly. I mean, it's a great tweet. But you're talking to me in a way saying that you don't have authority. So where is your authority content? Okay, so I'm going to repeat myself here. This is more like, platitude-y based content. Where are you warming your followers? And that's the problem here is your posts are kind of like, this like one-off type thing. By the way, there's something really odd with your page right now. Something very strange here. And I look at your page, I'm starting to wonder, like, are your followers real? Because take a look. This doesn't make any sense. You have 3,836 followers, 39 followers. And you posted 5 hours ago and you only have 55 views. It's extremely concerning. I don't know why that's the case. As I take a look at your posts, hopefully you didn't buy bots or get sold on bots. That's not something we do here. And there's a lot of people who are on Twitter that like to sell you followers. They're all scam artists. Every single one of them is a scam artist. They're selling you the lowest quality followers, and none of those people are ever going to buy anything. The reason why someone follows you matters. So there's a whole bunch of things with your page right now that are huge red flags. Your posts aren't really getting any organic engagement. I have 282,000 followers. When I post on Twitter, a typical post for me goes well over 1 million views. If you had 3,000 followers, you should be getting 10 times, maybe even 20 times the amount of engagement and views organically. So it feels more like you have a page that has 200 or 300 followers when I look at your tweets. Okay? So we've got some issues here. All right? I have an interactive account for a long time. I used it to sign up for high school. Oh, so like you back. Okay. So I'm reading his follow-up here. So you grew this account and then stopped growing it, and then you just came back to it. Okay. So you're in this is something where you're in a real tight spot right now, because what happens is, this is why I tell you guys the most important thing is consistency. You need to show up every single day on this platform. So like, let's say that you used it and you haven't tweeted for like a month or two, you're in this phase where the Twitter algorithm has deprioritized you greatly because nobody's interacting with your posts. So the Twitter algorithm isn't really hard to figure out. We were talking about this yesterday. The more people interact with your posts, the better. The more frequency, the better. So if you're not posting, your frequency is 0. And if you do this long enough, the Twitter algorithm goes, this is a 0 account. So hopefully this, CPP is going to be great for you because we're going to have other accounts getting you the ball rolling again. Okay. It's like the engine's it's like a cold start on an engine, man, or it's going to be, you got to get it going again. It's like you haven't been in the gym for like 3 months. It's going to be that first workout back. Okay. So you need to start trading with some other people. Maybe you get some other big accounts to give you some retweets, get some interaction going, get comments going, get comments under comments going. And you also need to start demonstrating more authority onto your timeline as opposed to just throwing like these platitudes. I don't think there's anything wrong with platitude posts, by the way. I know people like to dunk on it. I post memes, really. But you have to occasionally post threads at least once a week that are going to demonstrate that you are an authority on a particular subject. Okay? There's different ways to position your page. You didn't even think about sales. That's fine. Like you can grow an account and just grow it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no downside to that. I will say that. But if you want to start making that like transition to, well, first of all, you need to get that growth phase back in consistently now. And then once you do, occasionally post some on your timeline demonstrating your authority. There's a guy, Skylar, that's in here right now. I want to bring up Skylar because he's been doing such a great job on his page recently. Congratulations to Skylar. I'm bragging about you. This is he's really gotten his page going. Skylar, I just went to your page and I don't see a banner. Maybe he's just putting that into a maybe he's working on that right now. But he just recently had a Twitter thread that demonstrates that he's an authority on dating. Are you working on the banner right now? Okay, cool. I was like, is this my computer or is it that he doesn't have it? But you can take a look at this. This is how you demonstrate authority right here. And he's also showing you that he's a smart person and a clever writer. Look how good this is. 37 sentences that will make you a more attractive male today. If you can't carry her up the stairs, both of you might have to do some work. Ouch. But like, look at how clever that hook is, right? He's demonstrating that he's an authority by saying, I'm going to tell you how to be a more attractive male. Oh, you've got some work to do. It's controversial. So it lays into that part of Twitter where I'm going to have to comment underneath that or share or retweet it because I am feeling like I need to react to that, which is this is how social media works. Okay, so Kay says, what should my ideal reach be for the page? Y'all, in the resources room, at the end of the Ultimate Beginner's Guide, there is a PDF page that actually shares all of the benchmarks that you should be hitting. Engagement targets. I'm going to screenshot the page and I'm going to put it into the lesson 2 room, but I strongly suggest that you take a look at that. And these are just benchmarks. These are just benchmarks where you should be getting at organically, by the way. Some of these people who are getting massive engagement, they're like in 4,000 different engagement communities. I am in zero. I post stuff that people I know are going to interact with because I know what it takes, what they're going to be interested. I know what the people want to tweet and retweet and give comments under. So make sure you want to be able to learn how to write a tweet that is able to get engagement organically on it. Mark says it's like the standard move that you have to learn on this platform. You got to know, or nobody's ever going to see your posts. Okay. All right. There's a ton to get through. Yeah, well, we're on day 2, Mark. Somebody tweeted, by the way, somebody messaged me yesterday. This is on a side tangent note. I believe it was Tatiana. She was like, I cannot believe that you only charge this amount of money for this cohort. The price of the cohort next year is going to be much, much more expensive. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like this, the more I think about it, is just like, I have to raise these prices. And cool, because anybody here can affiliate it for it in the future, but the prices are going to be much higher. Mark's got a question. What do you want to accomplish? Ultimately get back to a six-figure income. So you were earning six figures before. But in the shorter term, get to 2K months in a few months. I'm happy to do this either by selling AI art courses and for fun and monetizable leverage my profession. All of that's great. Art courses, AI art courses. So if I were to sell an AI art course, this is tough. So maybe like prompts, right? Like maybe what you can do is any way you position a product, it has to be positioned off of either making people more money, saving people time, or saving people money. Okay. So what would an AI art course do? It would save people time. So what you would need to do is provide like templates or ways to make it so easy for them to come up with AI art, right? I think that would be really interesting. What are dreams? Build a personal brand that's untethered from corporation. What are your biggest fears? Choosing a path. I love AI art. Wow. I think that's maybe another really easy niche. I haven't really explored it, but I've seen like people posting like, former US presidents as people from The Office or former US presidents as professional wrestlers. And they share these threads and they all go viral and they all do so well. It just shows you that that's something that you should be tweeting about right now. So if you tweet about AI art, right? This is what I said earlier. You don't tell people what you do. You show them what you do. You don't tell people what you do. You show them what you do. So if you have a page and it's about AI art and you want to sell AI art courses, you should be doing really cool and creative things with AI art on your page. You should demonstrate that you are the top 1% of the 1% in that niche. All right. Mike Lamb is getting back to me. I've been thinking about your feedback. Follow-up cue from Mike. Hope y'all are learning something today, by the way. I'm going to ask every single person for one thing that they learned at the end of it, okay? At the end. We're not done yet. I've been going for 90 minutes. What do you want to accomplish? I've been thinking about your feedback. Does this make more sense? Everyone has a goal to create more time, money, and energy, but very few people have a plan to make that happen. I help people create. I don't know what a personal blueprint is, Mike. That's the problem. So if you were to come to me and go, I help you create a personal blueprint, I have no idea what that means. It's like I saw somebody tweet often, like, I help you get more shit done. What does that even mean? Sorry for cursing, by the way. I'm just reading what they would say. But what's that mean? What is the quantifiable part of it? There's something dangerous here. There's no numbers or any digits about what you do for people. So for instance, if you were to take my course, Create 24/7, right? Create 24/7 says the blueprint on how to build a six-figure Twitter business. I know exactly what I'm going to get a blueprint for. And when you take the course, I literally show you these are the steps that you need to make to get to your business to be a six-figure business. And then I even share case studies. These are other content creators making six figures online. And why did I name it a six-figure business? Have you noticed how many people are showing me their dreams and aspirations and say, I want to build a 10K per month or six-figure business? I'm putting that copywriter's technique into my copy. It's actually in the name of the course. Y'all see how that works? So that's why, it's sold a few thousand. Plus like all the other stuff that we've done. I read what people want. Like I go, okay, they want to learn how to do this. I've done it myself. Here's what it is. This is a blueprint to how to accomplish X, Y, Z. So that's what you need to be able to do, Mike. Like, what is it that people who follow you, what do they want? What do they want? You talk to them on calls. This is what part of what I'm doing with you is I'm reading all of these answers, right? I read everything you guys post in here. Sometimes I do miss it if you are asking me, but I'm reading the crux of it because I want to know what people want, right? Can I solve this problem? Okay, this is a blueprint to do an X, Y, Z. But just saying I have a blueprint or this is a blueprint doesn't mean anything. Okay? So what is it a blueprint for? That is what needs to be quantifiable. Tim. What do you want to accomplish? By the way, using digits is a life hack. Notice like almost all of my memes, tweets, emails, subject lines, they all have numbers inside of them. I want it to be concrete in people's minds. I want my name Tim Doyle, Jim Doyle. Oh, I love that. Jim Doyle, yeah. To have strong social currency. I'm not sure what that means, but have a good presence on Instagram, sure. I want to grow my fitness following and build a newsletter. Okay, so here we go. We got some numbers here. Fitness journey, 5K per month by the end of the year and ultimately 6 figures. So this is like another person who came in here. You need 2 or 3 clients per month to get there. So for the fitness guys who are out there, how many clients have you had so far? That's my question. Now, maybe you have 0 followers on your platform, so you don't have any reach right now. That's fine. But maybe you have 1 or 2,000. How many have you landed so far? To those of you who already have an offer, would you be able to sell it and make $1,000 today on it? What can you do? So this is something you need to be taking clients. You can do this as we speak. So every day that you miss without a client is a day that you miss on learning. Every day that you miss taking on a client or talking to people or getting on calls or learning about what people want is a missed opportunity for you to learn, not them. Well, they're going to learn too, obviously, right? If somebody hires you to be a fitness coach. So maybe you need to start taking on people immediately. Maybe, like if I said this to you, like if I have said, hey, could you come up with an offer on how about for by Monday, right? And say, hey, you need to land 5 clients. Take them on for $200 for a week or 2 weeks. I've got a coaching service. Look, I'm going to take 5 people on. I'm going to offer this especially to my timeline. It's $200. DM me for more info. I'm taking 5 people on. I'm going to coach you up in a Telegram chat for 2-3 weeks. I'm going to be sharing all of the secrets that help get you down to 15% body fat. We're going to weigh in. We're going to check in every single day. Well, that price is too low. Okay. Well, guess what? You're going to be using that as a learning experience, right? So for you guys who are like, hey, I want to get to the 5K, get to your like 2K, 3K, then you can start raising prices because you're going to learn how people want. We've got this CPP down to a science because we've done this many times. The first time we offered a CPP, it was like being a first-year teacher. I was a public school teacher. I'm going to tell you, first-year teachers or like the substitute teacher, they're usually not. That's where you're going to be on day one when you're coaching clients and having offers. James said this. Yes, exclamation point. James, I like James. We did this with our acupuncture clinic to get it going. We had an intro offer and got lots of experience, and now we're booked and qualified and cannot keep up how busy we are. By the way, here's a tip. I'm going to give you a tip right now to make more money. If you are so booked and you are so busy that you cannot service people, you need to raise your prices tomorrow. You should raise your prices at your acupuncture clinic tomorrow if you cannot keep up with how busy you are. But what you can do is you can just call it a beta offer. Like people are going to look at it and they're going to go, this is so cheap. How are you offering me a month worth of coaching for $200? Well, it's because I'm turning this into something much bigger. All I'm going to ask is for a testimonial at the end of it. I want you to take a picture of you shirtless at the beginning. We're all going to take shirtless pictures. And at the end, we're all going to show how ripped we got. And there you go. You can tweet about it on your timeline. Testimonials, highlights. Alvaro. We're going to take a look at what he has sent to me. I had a guy who joined CPP. I think was it for the last session or for the it was one of these sessions. His name was Renz. You all might have seen Renz. He's in masterclass right now, but he's been part of our past CPPs before. He closed a client for $1,500 during our cohort. He never even, I'm not saying that you need to go out there and close one, but I mean, are you selling it? Are you working on this? He did that that's a screenshot from one of our past CPPs during it. He put it in the Share Your Wins room. Alvaro, I got this late to the party. Here's mine. I'd like to know, for this cohort, I want to be comfortable creating content and redefining your brand. How much content are you creating is my question. Get out. If you're writing like 2, 3, 4 hours per day, are you writing a thread? Are you writing an email? You want to be prolific. You want your name to be synonymous with being prolific. For Twitter, I want to quit my 9 to 5, build my online presence, and run my creative agency. I don't know what a creative agency is. Does that mean ghostwriter? Does that mean AI generated art? So a lot is when I'm getting descriptions from you guys is as concrete as you can make it as possible. What obstacles are you facing? I need help finding a niche. I can see, I bet I can tell here because everything is vague, right? My next bet is an AI tech accelerator. I don't know what that is, but that sounds pretty interesting. AI tech accelerator. Does that mean you teach people how to get the most out of AI? That sounds like an interesting niche. Maybe you ought to write a thread about that. I've seen all of these threads, and I'm not even an AI person. I don't even like AI, okay? But I do know that this is a validated offer because I know there's other people selling it, that kind of business on the timeline. So what are you waiting for? Where is your thread about how to get the most out of ChatGPT or whatever one of these things are? All right. Cool. Arthur sent me this. These are my questions for lesson 2. I want to be able to buy myself a place in the countryside where I could. He wants to get rich and get off of the grid. Reading, creative, contemplation. That's great. I want to earn a good living from my thoughts. Okay. So what makes your thoughts earnable? What makes your... I want to see this in the chat. I'm going to ask the chat. What makes your thoughts earnable? What do you need to do with your thoughts for other people to make them earnable? Can I see some... Take some guesses here. What do you need to do with your thoughts? Because I actually gave the answer to this earlier. Show results close. Yes. What is value, though? That is my question. I'm basically asking what is value. Because nobody's going to pay you for your thoughts. Do you know why? Because nobody cares. Make their life better. How? I told you the 3 things. Patrick, numbers. You're all so close. Save. Good. Kay's got it. Save time. What are the other ones? This is good. Save time. So do your thoughts save people time? Does it make them more money? Does it save people money? You see this? No, Kay is giving you guys the answers. He's right. People are writing down money. Save time, make more money, save people money. So that's how you add value to your thoughts. So all of this is great. But you'll notice if you take a look at my emails, they show people how they can, or they demonstrate how people can make more time, make more money. I think all of that's good. Fear of failure, fear of obscurity, fear of regret. Not having used your talents, that's a good fear. Fear of not being a good father, that's a good fear. It's a bit of a motivator. What obstacles are you facing? A 9 to 5, expensive nursery bills to pay. That's something that I can say. Having parents live close by is a life hack, guys. There's a life hack for if you're a youngin', make sure you live close to your parents. I just saved you all time and money right there. Because boy, in the States, I know that daycare can be expensive, but fortunately I've never had to send my son to daycare because it's either his mother's watching him or grandparents are watching him. Or I'm watching him. I've got Richard here. Save time, make money, save money. Yes. That is how you add value to your thoughts. So again, I'll get these really interesting accounts, and I have a lot of people who come to me and they're like, I have a 500,000 follower. I make no money online. And I go, well, does your Twitter page save people time? Or does anywhere that you tweet about? Now, it doesn't even have to be directly on your Twitter page. I don't really talk much about this directly on my Twitter page. I'm in the business more of showing and not telling. Like, I don't have to tell people I know how to write viral tweets. I don't need to write a thread on how to write viral tweets. You can just, I will just demonstrate it to you. I'll just demonstrate to you Twitter growth, as opposed to people who are smart enough can read between the lines. And then they'll know, they'll get on my email list, and then I talk more about those particular things. Save time, make money, save money. But you can do this as well. And think about this. It doesn't matter what your niche is. You need to think about how you're going to do those things. Are you a fitness coach? You are making people time. You are adding years of their life onto their lives. That's how you need to position your coaching offers. Are you a dating coach? You're saving them time. You can go out there and try to find the woman of your dreams. It's going to take you until you're age 40 until they find. I'm going to teach you how to attract a woman when you're age 22. I'm taking 18 years off of your life. You can start living your life sooner with me if you hire me as a dating coach. If you're a person who's in the wealth, there's Eric, Stage 3 Finance. He's making people money. All right. So, all right. Any other cues? I think I've gotten through every single person. Such a good chat. Have you all been learning today? I hope you all have. I've been going for 2 hours nearly. Oh, I'm taking a look at my Telegram chat. Some people have. Take a look at some other stuff here. Some people just sending me some. I think Skylar sent me something. Where does Scott? Y'all, if I missed your, I had so many people send me stuff that I might have missed your. Okay, so I know Skylar sent me something. If I missed yours, bump it, okay? I have yours here, Skylar. I found it. Yo, Dino. I like the yo, by the way. I won't make the call. But you are here, and here he is. I want to generate $12K month profit with my online business. How much are you promoting your offer on your timeline right now? You need to do it ruthless after every other thread. Maybe you need to be a little more, 1 or 2 times. Okay, you need to be more aggressive with the frequency there. Say, I am looking for, just hit him in the face with one right now. Now is the time to go for the hit him in the face. If you're not finding enough leads right now. I am looking for 3 men who are looking to find the woman of the, kind of exactly what I phrased it a few minutes ago when I was talking about how you're saving people time, making people money, all those things. I think that would be a little bit of what you need to do is if you haven't gotten on the board, and I gotta look at where we're at right now, but if your offer hasn't been validated yet, you need to make it validated, is what I'm trying to say. I forgot to include a profile, a quick time. I'm not doing profile views today because I could spend hours and hours on that, and we are all going to have review sessions. So our next profile, we have a review session, guys, posted for Saturday. Why I want you to do this right now is so many of you are making changes to those profiles. I don't want to get in the way right now. You know, y'all can start making adjustments to your profiles, and you can get all on that later. Okay. James says, great session. Thanks, AOP. Thanks, y'all. Jordy, if you're missing, can you bump your chat up? Like, give it a bump. Just say, tweet me bump so that I see it, because I've gotten through this. Yeah. All right. So what I want you to do is, I'm going to keep going, y'all. Are there more questions? We can chat about anything. Do you all want to hear my take on threads? Do you all want to take my take on threads is I don't really care. And I think it's kind of funny. There's all these people on Twitter posting like, I have 42 followers on Threads. You can follow. Nobody cares. Nope. Look, it's not the flex that these people think it is. Congratulations, you started on Threads. To me, it's kind of like, it may do well. It may be great. To me, it's not really interesting because of one of the ways that he's trying to position himself. Jordan, you can send it to me directly or bump it. You have to understand I've got like 50 different DMs here. I can't screenshot all of that right here. My point on Threads is one of the things that makes Twitter interesting is that it is chaotic. That it's raw, and that's kind of a way as I see the interesting part about Twitter is more like a forum. It's a networking site because of that. Twitter is a forum. It's a networking site. And the problem with Zuckerberg and Facebook, I mean, Facebook is so boring, guys. Facebook is the worst social media site out of all time. Because it's the worst type of content that's being shared on Facebook. Unless you have a page and you have like, I'm talking about your typical person who's going on Facebook and they're complaining about their neighbors, right? Like it's the content on there that it's there's nothing of value there. Do we know how easy it is to repurpose Twitter content for Threads? To me, it's not even worth taking the 10 seconds to repost my content over there. Again, because it's a site where he's just like, oh, it's going to be nice. And the cool thing about Twitter is the chaos. It's the engagement that's there. And Twitter's not going anywhere. Kay says, do you use Gumroad for email or ConvertKit? I use Gumroad. Oh, I have the easiest funnel of all time. I would suggest that if you're starting and you're brand new onto this to use ConvertKit Go. Is Twitter good for business-to-business marketing? Yes. So I'm asking for Justin to send this, Jordy to send this to me, but he's not sending me this thing. He's put it in this. Right, so I'm going to do my best to take a screenshot of this here because it's a long chat right here. Okay. Take a look at what Jordy sent me. I'm creating a software development company with 2 friends, and I want to grow it on Twitter to get developers. Yeah. I've been working as a programmer for 6 years. Cool. I want to have my own successful company. I want to become rich, at least 10K per month. 10K per month, I don't know if I would call rich, but it's well to do. Be able to enjoy many things that I love that cost money. What are your biggest fears? So what are you facing? I'm good at programming, but I don't have any idea how to grow on Twitter. Okay, so this is really good. This is good. So his problem is that he wants to talk about he wants to just use Twitter to promote whatever program that he's selling. And the problem is that nobody really can. You need to grow you on Twitter. So if you have a personal brand and all you're doing is talking about something that you're just selling, you're going to grow very slowly from it, and you're not going to build much of an audience. So one person who does a really great job in this is Tebow. Now, he sells lots of stuff. Programs, SaaS, whatever, you name it on Twitter. But his page centers more on entrepreneurship. You understand that? So he's focusing more on the lessons. There's another content creator, and he's gone through our page, our cohort as well. This is Tom Harari. He doesn't sit around. He has something called Get Dewey. Okay? He rarely tweets about Get Dewey, but he has it in his bio. He's more about serial entrepreneurship, writing about business, creativity, and personal development. And occasionally he'll share a story about entrepreneurship or life lessons that he learns because that's what he's passionate about. That's how he grows his account. And then occasionally he'll tweet about Get Dewey. It's like Daniel Vassallo, right? They don't sit there all day and tweet about this program or their offer all day. They talk about entrepreneurship. They give lessons to the audience that they know that people are going to enjoy, a wide audience. And then people are like, oh, you have this offer. Oh, you have this program. I'm going to check it out. All right. Any other questions? I am here to help you. I am here to help you. Any other final questions? I hope I got to every single person today. If you can do me one favor and go to the lesson 2 room, where my notes are, and post one thing. Go to lesson 2 room, not here. And the reason why I'm asking this is people are going to listen to the replay of this. Go to the lesson 2 room and post one thing that you learned in today's session. And while you're doing that, I'll answer Kay's question. Why is ConvertKit better than Gumroad? Because Gumroad doesn't have a lot of options. That's why. You can segment in Gumroad. Like I can send an email specifically to people who purchased one particular product, which is very valuable. But it doesn't have a lot of options, and it's just like the emails are just, they're not aesthetic. They have that weird font. I think it looks tacky. It looks amateurish. I still use it though because it's so easy to use and it does well for me. But it's probably me doing something on Gumroad is really interesting. Okay, let me read some of the responses on here. Oh, good answers already. Ryan says you need to be using Twemex. Why, Ryan? Copy Stu. One thing that I learned, quantifiable over clever. Ooh, I like that. Can we make that a slogan for CPP? I don't want to get sued over clear over clever because I found out a couple weeks ago that's somebody else believes that that's their line. But quantifiable over clever. Oh, I love that, Copy Stu. You're a copywriter, aren't you? Richard says, tweets are like products. Interesting. I love that. You're taking this to the next level. Tweets are like market research, right? They got to save time. Yeah. They got to save time, make people's money. Oh, yes. Skylar says, you need to promote your offer more. Yes. Skylar, my question to you is, what percentage of your audience knows about your offer? Ooh. Some of the best insights I learned during today's session, use highlights portions for your best testimonials. Oh, highlights is the most underused portion of Twitter. So let's say you're not using it for testimonials. What could you use instead? My suggestion is for you to post your threads there. So for me, I actually should have I should have testimonials there. I'm actually whiffing. But in my highlights part, I have more of the life story stuff that I have because I constantly get DMs going, are you really a millionaire? What is your life? What have you done? So I just go right to my highlights page, or I tell them to click on my highlights page, and then they can learn more about me. It's more like an extension of my profile or an extension of my pinned tweet. But I would suggest if you have an offer to use it for your testimonials. Copy Stu says smug. What's smug? Skylar putting out a poll right now. I like that. That's interesting. Kay says make tweets that aren't about fluff. Yeah. Now, you need to show up every single day on Twitter, okay? Are you allowed to post a fluff tweet? Yes. Should you feel bad about posting a fluff tweet? No. But you do have to show authority at some point, especially if you're up and coming. Ultimately, you want to be an account that other accounts talk about. I'm going to repeat myself. Ultimately, you want to be an account that other people talk, that other accounts are talking about. You want a buzz factor for your account. A buzz factor. Remember, you're ultimately going to be a forum. So if other people aren't talking about you, if you're just, hey, I post a tweet up and nobody responds, nobody interact, nobody's talking about you. But if you offer something of such high, insane value, Seth Godin has this saying, be so good they can't ignore you. And so when I was growing my page, I guess it's a book. It's also a Seth Godin quote. I swear. Somebody else, Steve Martin, be so good. Anyway, I heard Seth Godin say this, okay? And that's what you need to be in the early stages of Twitter. You need to be so interesting and have so much value that people are just like, wow, did you see that thread that Skylar put out? Did you see that thread James put out? Did you see the thread Jordy put out? You got to follow this guy. James says, don't tell people what you do. Show them. Correct. Show over tell. This is a high level. I do, yeah. Your Twitter page should be like a forum. Comments are the most underrated engagement part of Twitter. Why do I have so many questions on my page, guys? Why do you think? Because questions generate comments. It gets a debate going. And my tweets from a couple days ago have over 2,000 views. One has 4,000 comments. That's insane. 10 million views. The longer somebody spends on your page, the more you're going to get bumped in the algo in a good way. Jordy says, I learned what kind of content I could write to give value people. Start studying those serial entrepreneur accounts, Jordy, and give lessons about your experience. Absolutely. Jordy, phenomenal. Excellent, my man. Excellent. Oh, Stu was feeling smug. I thought you can call me smug. It's fine. Raul says, if you can sell once, you can sell twice. That is a validated offer. That's why I say your most important dollar you make online is your first dollar. Because now you only have to increase the frequency or traffic. Good fears are motivating. Yeah, there's a difference between fear in a way can be motivating. I'll tell you this. This is a personal story. Okay. I was never more motivated in my life when I became a father. And like, there's this lie that society says, I'm going off on a tangent, that, when you have kids, you're not going to be able to, oh my gosh, when you have kids, you're like, I need to move 10 times as fast. You got like dad energy. You find it inside yourself. People who are dads know what I'm talking about. I know there's dads in here. Am I speaking the truth? Some people like to say, oh, you move faster. James says, that's why I'm here. Yeah, you understand what I'm talking about. I'm reading some of y'all's comments. I got lost in extreme growth mode on Instagram and it came out with Reels. I forgot about Twitter. Okay, yeah. You got to get the ball rolling again. I got a 2-year-old and another on the way. Congratulations, James. So you know what it's like to put in those, I've got 3 or 4 hours nights worth of sleep, but I'm still going to do it anyway. Energy. Oh, he knows what I'm talking about. All right. Any other final questions? I love seeing all that you've been writing about. Now, I want to say this. If I didn't get to you, please don't. Guys, I get so many DMs. I get so many questions. All you need to do is contact me on Telegram at Creation247. Best way to do it is just leave me like bullet point, like, hey, AOP, bullet point. That helps me get back to you in the quickest way possible. I want to make this like as frictionless as possible, and I want to make this as easy for you as possible. I just realized I've been talking for 2 stinking hours straight. I'm going to go touch grass. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go touch grass. I'm going to get outside, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. If you want to get in contact with me and say, hey, we got to, help me out with this or give me some feedback on this, absolutely go for it. But I want you to send that to me on Telegram. Mark, I'm touching grass right now, so I'm gonna ask you to send me to. I'm done. I've been talking 2 hours straight. It's time for me to run, but I do appreciate every single one of you. You can send me those questions on Telegram. Tomorrow, we are going to shift and we are going to start talking about personal branding. So if you want to get a jump start, go to the Create 24/7 and start reading up on that. I'm going to be putting in some lessons about personal branding. Will I post another video today, or I might just call it a day today. I don't know if we can do another lesson. I think that it might be just a little too much. No, you know what? I am going to post it. I'm going to post it today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a lesson in the personal branding feedback room. If you want to take a look at it, if not, you get to it tomorrow. It's not a big deal. I know there's going to be high achievers that are like, give me. So I'm going to supply that. Okay. So I will post that in the personal branding room in a bit, and so that you can get a little bit of a jump start on it if you want. If not, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a beautiful one. I will talk to each and every single one of you later. Have a good day, everybody.